Alright, welcome back to Crew Angel Gaming. So today we're going to be working on a S15, which hopefully we can get repaired pretty quickly. We're just going to have to rebuild the motor though. The motor that originally has in there is pretty much nothing but a block, so I figured we might as well just build one. Because it's not going to matter too much whether we do or not. But I just decided, we might as well, so that's what the plan is. We're going to build a motor. That ain't going to take too long. I mean, it seems like it takes forever, but it shouldn't. In all honesty, it should take, I don't know, a couple minutes. We should be getting the motor done. Then, once we get the motor finished, put it back in. All we got left is pretty much the whole suspension, which doesn't take too long to. I looked at it when I had it up on the lift. I still have it sitting by the lift, but I just haven't raised it up on the lift recently. But when I looked at it, it didn't look too complicated. Kind of a good thing, I guess. But once we get this whole motor build is just gonna take forever because I think I gotta buy a bunch of parts that I don't got. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get, but I think once we get all the parts we need, shouldn't take too long. I just gotta get all the pistons in, which means I gotta buy more pistons and like just a bunch of other stuff I'm gonna need, like alternator and everything else. I mean, it's just gonna take me a minute. Once we get all the parts figured out, be good to go. Because I gotta like read it or make a list and then hopefully read off the list what I need. Hopefully, but sometimes I mess up. So hopefully I got everything. I'm not exactly sure. Got the alternator on though. I'm just gonna get the rest of the pistons and flywheel and all that stuff on. And as long as we get all that finished, I mean the motor's like that much closer to getting put back in. It is a V8, which means that it will go together pretty quick. Gotta be a lot of performance parts on it though, that's for sure. Because that's gonna be one heck of a motor. I don't know what it's gonna be making, but it seems like it's gonna be making a lot of horsepower. Come to think of it, I don't know if the suspension, even if it's rebuilt, it's gonna be able to handle this. Might have to modify it. Just had that thought cross my mind, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it will hold. We won't be able to find out if it will or not until we actually take it out for a test spin. But, I mean, one part after another, we'll get it put back together and then go back in and see whether I'm going to have to custom modify the suspension or not. I hope we don't have to. I really hope I don't, but you never know. But, once everything like that is figured out, the final details shouldn't take too long. But we'll get it done. Alright, all we got left to do is purchase a few things here and there. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to, get everything, which it didn't. Once we, again, finish the rest of this motor. Shouldn't take us that long to finish it though. It appears that it's not gonna take us too long, as I once thought. But the only thing that's gonna take us the longest time is figuring out what I need. So I've had to write like a list so I can figure it out, like part wise. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna need a lot more. I got all the spark plugs that we could ever need, because I bought like just a whole like supply of them. I was like, I'm just gonna restock everything. But I mean, there's certain things I didn't stock up on, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be, because I'm not gonna sit here and stock up on every single part that I need, you know. But again, once everything's, you know, worked out, at least parts wise, you know, the motor will be together, and then we ain't gotta worry about it. And then we can put the thing, pull the old one out and sell that old one, because we ain't gonna use it for anything. All the old one is just nothing but a block anyway, and me and repairing those types of, or these types of engine blocks are not really the greatest. So I decided, like, let's not even chance it. We'll just buy an engine block and then just build it from there, which is what we've been doing. So, I mean, it hasn't taken us quite as long as I thought, you know, to get everything together. I mean, we'll have the top part of this motor finished in not too long, and then the other thing from there is just putting the belts and all that on, and all the covers, and, you know, just that little, you know, little bit of stuff left to do. But mainly everything is together as we thought it would be. I mean, it's just, you know, we gotta get every little thing that we can done on this motor, so all I've got to do is install it. So that's what I'm trying to get to right now. I'm just trying to get to install this, so then all I gotta do is, you know, pull the suspension apart, be done. Maybe take it out for a cruise, see what it'll actually do, but I have a feeling that this thing's gonna be super fast. I don't think anybody can keep up with it. I mean, with, like, you know, a tuned car maybe, but that's really going to be pushing it. Because I don't think it's going to matter too much, but we'll get it at least built so that we can test everything. But, you know, that's really all we need, is just to test everything, and, you know, once we figure out, okay, this is what it's making, then we'll make our decision whether to, you know, do we gotta do the frame, you know, make it withstand it. It shouldn't, you know, need to be anything like, you know, we shouldn't have to, like, box it in or anything, but we might have to a little bit. I'm not sure yet. Okay, all we got left to do is get the throttle, which I forgot, but, you know, that motor looks complete to me. Pull it off. And then all we gotta do is, you know, place the old one out. Well, first we gotta remove the transmission, because, you know, I'm not gonna use that transmission. That one looks too damaged to even try to repair. So we're just gonna get rid of it. But, yeah, with that being the only thing that we're gonna be, you know, not able to replace or repair. I should say repair rather, but we can replace it. I don't want to do it, but it just kind of is what it is at this point. But, I mean, it's not too bad, I guess. Could always be worse, I guess, but it's working out pretty well. It's just taking us a minute to figure out what parts we need. So the radiator's good. We know we have a trunk at least. We do the battery real quick, give it a good charge. You know, I mean, just doing those little things right there will basically make this go a lot faster. You know, that's just the little stuff that, you know. Okay. Now, when we get to a certain point, we're just going to have to do nothing but replace the suspension. That's going to be the problem right there. Definitely having to replace all the suspension, but we can definitely get to it. It's just where the problem's going to start, you know. Well, the list is going to have to definitely probably get bigger. But there's nothing that we can do. You know, we're just going to have to make a bigger list. I'm gonna start, you know, actually getting the parts, you know, written down. I mean, is it A gonna be a big list or B not? I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping for not like a super big list, but you know, I sometimes have lists that are big and sometimes ones that are small, so it just happens that I think this one's not gonna be too big, but then again, I could also be wrong. I mean, looking at certain parts, yeah, it's, you know, there's parts that you can't replace, or repair rather. I don't know why I keep saying replace, I don't know. Anyway, it's just a lot of stuff that, you know, can't repair, you have to replace, but I hate, you know, not being able to rebuild everything. Maybe we can, you know, later down the line, but I think once we get everything, you know, figured out, we should be doing good. Okay, not doing half bad. Yeah, this list is definitely getting longer than I thought it would be. Gonna have to get another piece of paper here. Start, you know, writing down that list, making it a little bit bigger. I mean, usually they're not that big, but this one just happens to be almost the biggest list I think I've made in the history of me playing this game, which that's saying something. This is like the most complicated car suspension that I've ever worked on and seen, like, hands down. We just gotta pull it all apart, which again is not, it's not taking us too long. I mean, it's gonna take us time, don't get me wrong, but you know, with everything just about, you know, being tore apart at this point, just go in, you know, go into the workbench and then just repair what we can. It's gonna take forever though. That's the part that just gets me. It takes us forever to do, but you know, if we can save a few bucks here and there, I mean, that's really what we're trying to do. I'm hoping that it doesn't take us that long to get everything repaired, but it sometimes does and sometimes doesn't. It's sometimes a waiting game. Alright, let's see what we got. Hopefully something good. We can hope, right? More bushings. Probably about the only thing I think I'm gonna have to buy at the moment. I mean, certain other parts, yeah, but I'm saying besides the standard ones that I know I'm gonna have to replace. Shouldn't take us that long. But it's just, you know, a matter of getting everything lined up, getting everything in. Alright, there we go. All we got left to do is, you know, build the whole spring assembly for the front. And then we gotta, you know, get some new tires. That's where it's gonna be in a minute. Because I don't know what rims I want to go with, or even what rims are running, or size. I have no idea. I hope it doesn't take us that long to figure it out. It shouldn't, but alright, get this figured out. And then we just gotta set it back up to what we got. Alright, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, the rims that we chose. So as long as it doesn't look like, terrible, then I'm good with it. There are certain rims that I think look just, you know, good on cars, and some that just look like other trash, but, you know, I just gotta decide what looks good, I guess. And I'm gonna have to be updating my list here pretty soon. Just to the parts that, like, I've, you know, got, and what I don't got. I'll have to do that here in a minute, but as long as everything is pretty much there, like, we got a few parts here and there that we're missing or whatever, but, I mean, that's fine, but other than that, it just kind of sucks. But, yeah. Be updating that list. Amazing, it didn't take us that long to do, but I have to update it every once in a while. Then I keep track of, like, what I got, what I don't got, and then I can go, okay, I need this, or, you know, something little, or little part, maybe bushing, maybe something, you know, something you forget. Alright, I mean, it's not going too terribly bad to repair everything. We did get some parts out of it, and some stuff we just have to get. It's not looking too bad. I mean, this is the one side that, you know, we've got to rebuild. But, you know, once we get this one side rebuilt, and everything figured out, shouldn't be too bad. Make sure we put the right size on. Let's see. Yeah, put more rubber bushings in here. That's always the thing that always seems to be running out, is always the rubber bushings. Like, no matter what we do, we seem to be missing at least those. So I just buy 20 at a time. That's just kind of a trick I picked up on. Just buy a bunch of them at a time, then you ain't gotta worry about it. But, you know, it's just my preference on how you should do it, is just buy as many bushings or whatever, like, you can. Whatever, like, most common parts are. Like spark plugs and, you know, stuff like that. As long as you keep, you know, your basic parts like that, then you should be good. You just gotta keep up with it. Alright, so now we just gotta find maybe an aftermarket transmission. I haven't made my mind up on it yet, but I think we should. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more power out of it. And we won't have to worry about, you know, in case something went wrong, it's snapping in half. We just gotta, you know, make sure we put that on the top of the list of things to get. Which, you know, once all that's put together, you know, then all that is pretty much left is the rear suspension. And to double verify that I put oil in the motor. That would probably be a good thing too, to double check. But everything else has been going pretty smoothly. I mean, it's just no hassles, no nothing. You know, it's kind of like weird, because it's like you wouldn't think that we'd be able to, you know, put it together this easily, but, you know, certain parts are just easy to come by, and certain ones aren't. I think that's probably why they swapped the motor on this vehicle, I'm not sure, but that'd be my guess. It's just for the ease of parts, you ain't gotta worry about it too much. That'd be what I would do, though. Like, if we couldn't, you know, do this or get this, then we just, you know, modify it with something else that actually works. Or it does the same purpose, because that's pretty much all you gotta do, really. Just match as closely as you can. But, you know, that's just another one of my opinions. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much, you know, blowing through like this whole rebuild on the suspension. I just realized we got one more side left, and once that's rebuilt, put oil in it, rebuild the body. Gotta definitely look at that interior. At least change something, maybe the seats. I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. What I want to do when we get there. Probably gonna have to. Maybe. Alright. So, I mean, it's nothing but the easiest thing I think I've ever built. But also the most expensive part, though, I think I've ever built the vehicle for. And we got nothing for it. Do we even have the trunk for this, or no? Probably not. No, the trunk's fine. Well, that didn't work out too well. Alright, so we just gotta, you know, get this thing, fix the steering wheel out of the way. Redo the interior. I think if we redo it, I think we're just gonna go with, like, you know, maybe like some actual racing seats or something simulator that's, you know, a little bit comfier than that, but might be something we have to look into. But we'll just go with the standard steering wheel. I don't really care too much. I mean, that'd be probably what we're gonna do. I haven't made my decision yet, but I think that's the best play to go with. And we ain't gotta worry about it. You know, then we just gotta move some tools over to, you know, clean up the body as best we can, and then clean up the rest of whatever interior is left, which isn't gonna be, you know, too much. Alright, let's rebuild the body on this. That's gonna take us a minute or two. It's the longest part is just waiting for it to load, probably. It's gonna take us a minute. But once we get done with that, you know, we'll blow right through doing the body here in just a minute. I have a feeling. Good thing I made a list. So if you can make lists, especially for body panels, then you gotta go through, oh, which one did I need? And then just kind of match it up the best you can, at least for the front ones. Let's see. Well, I mean, it's not going too bad. We just gotta figure out what bumper we want to use, but we ain't gotta figure out which one we want to do yet, just quite yet. Not exactly 1000% sold on what I want to do yet for that. I mean, I know what I want to do, but it's kind of like, can I pull it off? But still not looking too bad. I mean, that's the only thing to get worried about. But, you know, it's not looking too bad. Once we get it rebuilt, I don't see any problems. What are we going to be missing? Probably license plate. Be my guess. But if that's the only thing we're missing, then I'm happy. Other than that, I don't know. see what license plates we got. Yeah. I'm sure we can find something that matches this car. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that'll do. All we got left to do, at, you know, the point when we get done with it is just to move it to the, you know, paint shop, paint it up. Which I think what we'll do is just go with the original paint color because it doesn't look half bad. And then all we got left to do is get it dynoed once we get the paint on it, and then after that I'll take it out for a little cruise, see what it'll do. Hopefully it doesn't blow itself apart in the rear end. That's what I'm hoping does not happen, but you never know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just never wants to listen to me. But you know, all we got left to do is, you know, get to where we can actually cruise it for a minute, then sell it, and then I'll do the next one. Whatever the next one's gonna be, I haven't decided yet either. We could drive it around. Just takes a minute to get it to load and do what I want it to do. But, you know, once that's all done, then we're usually pretty decent. It shouldn't take too long. Let's see. You know, got a lot more horsepower than I thought. I never thought it would have this much horsepower. I mean, it just wants to drift right around. I ain't really even pushing it that hard, and it's just doing what I want it to do. So it's a pretty good car, but I think we'll just sell it when we get back to the garage. I don't really need any more cars cluttering up my storage. Alright. But it's not looking too bad. Still handling like it should. A few wall taps. That's really the things I worry about. Other than that, it's handling like it's supposed to. Now we just got drifting around for a minute or so. Make sure that thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.